Alright, welcome back, guys. Going back to the Redcat Kaiju. I've done a few upgrades off camera just because my first how-to video was such a disaster. But we'll get there. So, I'll go over real quick of what I've already done and what we're going to do today. So, yeah, I know, cheesy, but so what? So, we did all aluminum corners. Front shock caps on. Bump stops. Aluminum A-arms. And today we're going to be addressing the center diff. Because, well, it's not so good. We're going to be putting earplugs in it. Yep, that's right, earplugs. So, let's get into it. So basically what we need to do, we need to separate the whole rear end so we can get at the differential here. So, we start actually I'm going to get rid of the stand, move all of my cluttered filthy bench. There we go. Alright, we need to take out, let's see if you can see all of that. So far though, I've been really digging this P-key driver. Been working out really well so far. Got good torque. And it's a little slick in the hands. I think I'm going to put some grip tape on it to help the grip out with it a bit. So, got the rear bumper, touch of fluid in there. I'm going to pop this back on to keep the crap out of it. Get the top apart. So I'll pop a screw in there just so it stays on while I flip it over. And then we got to take out all 6 of these. Actually, maybe not those 2. No, those 2 gotta come out too. Alright, now back over one more time. Pop that one out, back up. Slip that off. And this supposedly just pops off like that. Not too bad. But we are going to cover this back up. Just to keep all the crap out of there. So these stock tires are good for something. Now we need to take off the diff cover and the bearing carrier. So, diff cover. A little bit of junk in there. That's not great. And alright, so little notches goes towards the front of the car, truck, whatever. So now we just kind of weasel that up and out. And there we go. Little cut crud around the bearing, which I don't really like. But we'll clean that up. So there we have it. But this is just, yeah, not acceptable. So bearing shim on both sides, it looks like. Redcat was actually thinking ahead. And there's an O-ring in there for your center drive shaft, basically as a cushion, so it does not well, there we go. And now let's take this apart. So I'm going to set that aside. Decent. Light overhead a little bit better. Okay. So now grab a few things here. Let's lay out paper towel here. So we can lay our parts on it. See if we can get that off of there. There we go. Pull our pin out. Then we got a shim or two here. So that short one on the gear side with our bearing. And then we have, let's see, two shims there. Two shims on the gear side. So just so that is actually noted. And well, because the gasket stuck on the gear side, I'm just going to leave it in there and clean this off. the gasket right where it's at. And not even bother disturbing it. Alright. Now we need to pull this assembly out. Hopefully, like so. I'm going to set that aside for a moment. Then we're going to pull that gear off. Get our pin out. Making sure that it's towards one of the deeper sides. So it'll slide on out. Then we should be able to, nope. Getting the shims out of there. Oh, there we go. And just one shim there. And note that there is an O-ring here. As well as here. This one I'm not even going to disturb, but this one I wanted to pull out so I can get in here and do some much needed cleaning. So I need to spray all that out of there. Try and get this bearing shim out of here, but doesn't look like it. There we go. Alright, bearing shim. Alright, so I typically just use brake parts cleaner for any of this kind of stuff in a little bucket. This is where I dump all my shock oil, everything. So lightly squeezing the trigger so it doesn't splatter everywhere. And just go in there and shoot it out. I'm probably going to need a toothbrush. Alright. Never throw away your old toothbrushes, guys. They make excellent little scrub brushes for this kind of stuff here. Alright. And that is pretty clean. Nice and cleaned out. Well, you can actually see that. There you go. So that is cleaned out. Now on everything else, I'm pretty much just going to wipe clean. And okay, I see all four. That's good. So now we'll start to reassemble. That's right, you need to see it, right? Okay, so O-ring back in there, slide this up, single shim on this side. Sun gear. Oh, nope. Pin first. Then your sun gear. Alright, now here comes the fun part. So these are kid size silicone earplugs. From what I understand, these are basically the equivalent to the Traxxas 20 million gear differential fluid. We're going to put 2 of these little guys in there. One on the bottom and one on the top. There. Now we need to reassemble our spider gears. Okay, again, you cannot see what I'm doing. How's that? All right. All right. One shim. One shim. Set that aside for a moment. Alright, now, as you can see, both of these have a flat spots in there. So on your first drop in, you need to make sure that that flat side is up, like so. And then on the second drop in, you need to make sure that that flat side is down, so they mate like so, just like that. I'm just making sure that it's pushed down in there all the way, so nothing binds up when I put it back together again. Like that. And then take another one. And I'm kind of thinking only a half of one for the top there because it's all squeezed in real good. So we're going to run out of room real fast. Kind of form a little disc with it, like so. And pop it in there, like so. Set that aside, and then we start reassembling this side. Just like that. Our 2 shims. Always make note of which side your shims came from. But so far, everything I've seen, the 2 are always on the gear side. Oh, let's pause that. We need to put our bearing on with our bearing shim. Hopefully, okay, good. And this side did not have a bearing shim, but We need to slide our bearing on first because it does not fit over this cup. Then we slide our pin in, put our sun gear on. Now, you can see the two extra little holes there, and there's little guide pins there, so we need to make sure we got that lined up just right. All right. Camera seems to be giving me some issues today. Gonna have to look into that, and hopefully it'll be all right. There we go, and that's much better. That's beautiful. Now we're in here. Let's make sure that oh wow. Differential gear is doing what it's supposed to do. Tight. Then we should be ready to go back together. Just like that. This one goes this way. Let's Alright, remember the notches go towards the front of the car, truck, whatever. Make sure everything's nice and snug, like it should be. Pull out that little piece of grass that, well, shouldn't be in there. Then pull that back out. With the correct size bit. And then the fun of weaseling this back where it belongs. Those support arms where they should be going. Just like that. This time we are going to put the top together first. Flip back over this way. Oh, I'm on top of. Alright. But we are, oh man, is that so much better. But we are going to put a lot more grease into this baby. This is just a silicone grease called Sil Glide. I'm an old automotive technician, and now we use Sil Glide for everything. Very good. So now we slide this on back together, like so. So basically just doing everything backwards from the way you took it apart. Well, as I mentioned earlier, was having a little issues with my camera, and it looks like I lost that last clip of me finishing up the assembly. It's basically just, you know, going back from the way you took it apart. And, well, there you have it. The Kaiju EXT square body. Back and ready to go. Next video we will be taking the differentials apart and upgrading the fluid in them because, well, they're pretty thin. So we'll be going through that, and yes, I'll be putting that O-ring into my center diff drive shaft cup because, well, there it is. Yeah, I caught it during editing, but it is what it is. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.